What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we're gonna talk about on way of the arguments to discuss whether Zinedine Zidane should be sacked from Real Madrid. Real Madrid have kept losing, they're on a crisis, they don't seem to change anything. Yesterday they lost against Villarreal, so it's a really big problem that Zidane needs to fix. So today we're going to discuss that. If you didn't watch yesterday's video in which we talked about that match, be sure to check it up here. It's our match review and reaction, so I got the first impressions of that match, why were Real Madrid so bad in that match and why did they concede that horrible goal to Palo Fornaus. All the information you need to know is up there. If you are also a Villarreal fan who wanted perhaps to check the latest match or are now a Real Madrid fan, be sure to check out my Villarreal career mode as well. I'm gonna leave the playlist down below. And well, that's it out of the way. Be sure to keep subscribed to the channel, drop us a like, and let's get right to it. Okay, now let's go. So for a start, guys, I'm sorry for I don't having any images or something of some sort out there in the background. I decided just to put on FIFA game in which I played with Real Madrid against Villarreal to see how exactly should have Zidane played that match against Los Submarinos yesterday. So you can see the formation and how we played that match in the background while we discuss here the arguments whether Zidane should be sacked or not. So what I'm going to do in these videos, I'm gonna put on 2 arguments for Zidane and 2 arguments against Zidane, whether he should be sacked or not. And we're gonna start off weighing up for the first argument, which is Zidane should be sacked because of his reluctancy to changing up tactics and formations in the team. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting the outcome to change. And that's exactly what Zidane is doing here. Zidane is doing the same thing over and over, putting the same players, the same tactics, the same formation, the same talk, the same everything he's doing, and trying to get a result different, trying to get a win. And that's something that Real Madrid haven't done since the last time Jupp Heynckes was managing the club. Jupp Heynckes was the last manager that couldn't win the first 2 matches in a year, and Zidane is now the second. So moreover than 8 years, Zidane is now the second manager to have the inability to change that. And it's the new year, and it's the same old Real Madrid. So what's going on, Zidane? You need to change up the formations. You cannot keep in the same players. You cannot keep playing the same tactics, because as we have seen, teams like Girona, teams like Levante, they're coming on to El Santiago Bernabeu and playing you out of the field. So you really need to start changing something up. The defense is not the problem. The midfield is quite a big problem, but we're gonna talk more about that later. And then also, your attack is also perhaps not the problem, because they got many chances. Benzema perhaps may not be scoring, but there's something that you're doing wrong, Zidane, that is really costing this team. You need to find out what's the problem, because I'm seeing something, but I'm gonna tell you that later. But it's your position, your job to identify that. And if you do the same thing over and over, expecting a result to change, then you're basically not doing your job. You're just keeping at it the way you like to. You have won 2 Champions League, you have won many trophies, but that's gone. You need to start pushing forward, because that's the main problem I would say that Zidane should be sacked for, because he's not innovating this team, he's not remaining competitive, and that's what Real Madrid will cost him at the end, Zidane's job. On the other hand, we can talk a little bit about the players. We could talk a little bit about individual performances, and we got people like Sergio Ramos, people like Marcelo, people like Casemiro, like Modric, like Kroos, Ronaldo, Benzema. You got so many players who are underperforming. So in that sense, Zidane shouldn't be blamed for the inability of their players, because Zidane cannot control that. He needs to motivate them, okay, I understand, but also the players need to put some of their own garra, their own, in Spanish you call them huevos, you call them the balls. Like, they need to put some balls into it. They really need to start playing and man up, because there's a problem and they're part of it. There's not only, you cannot blame just one man, it's your problem as well. So the players need to start changing up and trying to play out and really put their skin on everything in the pitch. So we see people like Marcelo, for instance, in the match against Celta de Vigo for the second goal, he was walking back, man. He was walking back. And as a Barcelona fan even, I'm doing this from a Barcelona perspective, and I'm trying to analyze it as unbiased as possible. I can see it, like any neutral out there can see that people like Marcelo are not putting the same job that he was putting out in the Champions League final. He was walking back and he was not marking at all Maximiliano Gomez. Iago Aspas was running through and through and through the defense because the defense wasn't on point, they weren't focused. There are many things that's going on. Ronaldo, for instance, he needs to start to control his anxiety. I know he's in a position where he may not have scored all 4 goals. He has 4 goals, I think, in La Liga. 4. That's just crazy. It's nuts. So I understand Ronaldo being in this position. It may be frustrating, but you need to control that. You need to keep your mind in a blank space. You need to keep it out of sight. You need to be focused, and that's things that can only be blamed on the players, not on the manager. The next reason why Zidane should be sacked from Real Madrid is that he's unable to accept the fact that he needs some signings. Signings is not something really bad. Bringing on players into your squad is something that can bolster your attack, can bolster different spaces in the midfield, and give competitiveness, once again, like I said, into your club. Zidane really needs to keep this team competitive, and the best way to keep competitive is get players who want to play for the best. So if you got somebody, I don't know, you bring in Icardi, for instance, you bring Mauro Icardi into Real Madrid, and then you want to make Benzema competitive, and Benzema sees that Icardi is scoring week in and week out. Benzema has to say and man up and say, okay, I need to play better. So that's something that Zidane should accept. That's something that Zidane should try and do. Zidane should be trying to bring on a player, at least 1 or 2 in the midfield and then in the attack, to try and bolster them and keep this team competitive, because they need to give them that extra push to the players they already have, because the players at the bottom, the provisional players such as Marcos Llorente, Dani Ceballos, they're definitely not playing even as good. So if you got people like Dani Ceballos behind you, who is a good player, don't get me wrong, he's an outstanding player, he's really, really good, but he's not pushing you upwards. Me being Modric, I will be like, well, what's the point now? I'm Modric, I'm Luka Modric, so I have won it all, and there's no one behind me who is better than me, so I'm gonna stay here and do what I like. And that's not the attitude. Then Zidane should be pushing the players. Zidane should be bringing signings, and at least, I'm not telling you a world-class player, just being somebody that's gonna give that extra edge. For me, for instance, being Zidane, bringing in someone like Leon Goretzka would have been the answer. Goretzka is an outstanding player on the verge of becoming a world-class player. So if there's Leon Goretzka that wants minutes, he's gonna break us. He's gonna break his ass, his ankles, everything on the pitch. And Luka Modric will then see why he needs to start playing like he used to before. And that's something that Zidane should be doing. Zidane should be bringing signings. And that's another reason why he should be sacked from Real Madrid, because he's not doing that. And now, guys, the final argument against Real Madrid sacking Zinedine Zidane is that it's normal that Real Madrid are experiencing a dip. Normally, when you reach the top of something, the only way to move is not forward, because you have already reached the top. You gotta go down in some way, and these players have been experiencing that. You got people who are aging, you got people who are slowly getting tired, and it's something that you cannot change. It's a circle of life. Everything in life goes up and then must come down. So Real Madrid right now are experiencing this turnaround, and they need an overhaul. It's normal. It's something that happens to every football club and everything in life. Just picture yourself in school, for instance. You got very good marks at the start of the year, then you dip a little, and then you go back again at the end of the year. It's normal that you change around whenever you play. These players, this team has already reached the top. They have won and retained the Champions League. Perhaps this is not gonna be their year, but they're gonna come back stronger, and it's something that comes up and comes down. And as a Barcelona fan, I understand that. We won the treble, and then we went down a little bit, and then we're coming back up again playing a really good. So it's everything that's going on. It's a cycle, and it's normal, and we gotta accept it. So this is a reason why Real Madrid shouldn't be, eager to change something or be eager to kick out Zidane. It's just something that life brings you, and you need to accept it. So Real Madrid, don't worry, because there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So what do I think at the end? So what do I think? Should Zidane be sacked, or should Zidane stay at Real Madrid? My answer to this is that Zidane should be sacked. I think that Zidane should be sacked, not only because he's not changing anything at the club, like I told you in the last argument, are cycles and you need to change and overhaul. It's normal, but the person to instigate that change has to be another manager, has to be somebody else who brings new fresh ideas into the club. So I think that perhaps Zidane's tenure here is getting over, his reign is probably ending, perhaps at the end of the season, and perhaps Real Madrid should try to bring somebody in, someone with fresh new ideas to motivate the players in a different way, to get them playing back to their best, get more competitive back into the side, get them really playing for the top titles again, not being like 16 points behind Barcelona. They should be at the top, challenging Barcelona for the title. So the best way to do that is bringing somebody in. So that's the reason why I think Real Madrid should sack Zinedine Zidane. Leave me your thoughts also on the comment box down below. I really want to discuss that with you guys. I know it's a very trending topic right now, if Zidane should be sacked or not, because Real Madrid keep on losing. So be sure to discuss that in the comment box down below. I really want to check out with you guys, and if you haven't checked yesterday's video of the Villarreal match, be sure to check that out. I will leave it in the comments, in the description, in the cards, whatever you want to find it. Also remember to check out that video because we talked a little bit about the problems Real Madrid are having in this current moment, and we analyzed a little bit that match. So be sure to check that as well. Yes, like always, guys, please remember to drop us a like if you enjoyed this, like if you didn't, leave us feedback in the comments, subscribe for more content, turn on the bell notification icon, and I'll be seeing you later. Take care. Ciao.